Reggie, I don't have a lot of time. I've got to get back aboard Enterprise.
Relax for a minute, John. I do have orders for you, but I want to show you something before you ship out.
This had better not involve Orion's slave girls.
Don't worry. I read your mission report on that. No Orions, that much I can promise.
They've done some great work on her, Reggie. I hear they even managed to replace the grapplers with those new tractor beams.
We've made a lot of progress in the past years here, John, due in no small part to what you've accomplished out here. We've launched 5 Daedalus-class ships in the last 2 years alone. There actually is a fleet forming out there. It's not just a dream anymore. Starfleet is becoming a reality.
Pretty soon you won't need my little ship anymore.
Not true. In fact, I need you for a delicate assignment.
Delicate?
The Vulcans have requested this mission.
Vulcans? Come on, Reggie, we both know how these things turn out.
Now, before you get in an uproar, I have good reason to send you. You've got more experience dealing with Vulcans than any other ship commander. You also have more combat time.
All right, this sounds bad. Combat experience?
It's a precaution. They've requested help from Starfleet to track down one of their scientists who's apparently gone missing. With them as a major ally, we really must assist.
The Vulcans have ships. Why do they need ours?
Oh, come on, John. It's dangerous out there. We're more capable of dealing with any trouble that might come up. Starfleet can get off on the right foot if we can handle this for the Vulcans.
Orders are orders. I'll do my part. Just make sure my helmsman gets all the information we need to begin this search. I don't want to get blindsided by lack of information from them, as usual.
I've already sent Mayweather everything you'll need.
I hope we don't regret this. Missions involving Vulcans usually mean one thing: trouble. This is the last known position of the Vulcan science ship. We're not getting anything on initial scans, but we should take a more detailed look through the system. Let's start by getting a close-range scan of that nearby planet. Check for any signs of wreckage.
Enterprise, are we glad to see you?
Rick, is that you?
It is. I diverted course to this system to respond to a general distress call and was ambushed by Romulan ships. They outnumbered us, and I was forced to take refuge here when my warp engines were damaged.
Why didn't you contact Starfleet?
We couldn't get a message out. Scans and subspace signals seem to be hampered by the magnetic fields here. We barely made it to the safety of the nebula before its ion interference disabled our impulse drive. We've got the engines repaired, but we can't re-engage the core matrix until we've cleared the interference within the nebula. It seems to dampen our efforts to reinitiate the power flow to our engines.
Stand by. We'll tow you out so you can get your engines back online.
Excellent. That's done the trick. Our engine course is back online.
Great news, Rick. Our Romulan friends have returned. You have to admire their sense of timing. Now let's see if we can't give a little of what we've been taking. Our systems now register green across the board. We're ready to continue the search. Rick, that distress signal you were responding to, did you happen to notice if it was Vulcan?
Now that you mention it, it did have the same carrier wave amplitude the Vulcans use.
That means the ship we were dispatched to locate may be the same one that sent the distress call. What was your last bearing on the signal?
Before we lost contact in the nebula, it was directly behind that dead moon. I'm transmitting the coordinates to your helm.
Acknowledged.
This is the Vulcan science vessel Saleya to any friendly ships in the vicinity. We are under attack by Romulan aggressors and require assistance.
Vulcan ship Saleya. This is the Starfleet vessel Enterprise. We are here to render aid.
Certainly a fortuitous bit of timing, Enterprise. We are transmitting our coordinates to you now.
Saleya, what's your status?
We are well for the moment, Captain. We extend our gratitude for your timely rescue.
No need. We were sent to find you. Just glad to see you're all right.
Sent? By whom?
The Vulcan government asked us to locate you and bring you back.
Ah, intriguing.
How so?
I would say their request for my retrieval is what you would call a euphemism.
Is there something you want to tell me? I'm sorry, what is your name?
I am Terrell, Commander Terrell.
Commander Terrell, what exactly am I doing out here? Can you shed any light on why I was sent for you?
The Vulcan High Command does not approve of my research, nor do they wish me to succeed where so many others have failed.
I see. And what exactly is your research?
My work extends to the beginnings of our Vulcan path toward logic. I am a seeker of past truth.
An archaeologist?
Of sorts. Captain, I believe it would be enlightening if you would make your way to my research outpost.
I'm under orders to bring you safely back to Vulcan. Can you give me a good reason why we should head to this outpost?
I fear my research team may be discovered by the same Romulans who followed and attacked my ship. The loss of any further life would be most regrettable.
All right. We'll follow you back to your outpost. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. But we must be swift, Commander Terrell. There's no telling how many other Romulan ships may be in the area.
We couldn't agree more, Captain. This will take but a short time, I assure you.
Commander Terrell, it looks like your researchers have some company. Is there anything you might want to tell me that could help us resolve this peacefully?
Nothing that comes to mind, Captain. The Romulans are obviously the aggressors here. We must act.
I'm going to try and talk to them first. This is the Starfleet ship Enterprise. Cease your hostilities immediately.
While I prize your optimism, Captain, I suggest you speak to the Romulans in a language they understand.
They've done it. The repair facility is operational. Now we can use it to patch up our ships. That seems to be all of them, but there could be more in the area. We know they have some sort of cloaking technology.
Well done, Captain. I will now dock with the outpost and begin the evacuation. It seems the prudent course, given that your vessels are the only ones capable of defending us from another attack.
You have a point, Commander. All Starfleet ships, maintain a defensive perimeter around the outpost until everyone on board is evacuated. Nothing gets through. Where is she going? Terrell, do you have everyone from the station? Damn it all, we're still reading life signs on the outpost. We've lost the outpost and everyone aboard. Push your engines as hard as you have to. I want Terrell to answer for this. Pursuit course.
That won't be necessary, Captain. Thank you for your assistance. We couldn't have secured the necessary protomatter without your aid. Now we are much closer to accomplishing our goals. I doubt we'll meet again. But if we do, know that my gratitude will not save you in our next encounter.
I knew I didn't like that woman. Vulcans. Secretive and deceitful. I should have learned from the Andorians. My mistaken judgment cost these people their lives. I won't make that error again. Captain's log, May 8th, 2159. While en route to Starfleet Command Headquarters after briefing the Vulcan government on Terrell's subterfuge, Enterprise has been rerouted to render assistance in the Epsilon Theta star system. An outbreak of some kind of mutagenic virus has occurred on all the inhabited worlds within this system. Starfleet has managed to synthesize a cure for this epidemic, and medical ships have been dispatched. However, there have been reports of attacks by Romulan vessels on some of our medical convoys. My task force has been assigned to protect Starfleet's efforts to send medical aid to the planets within Epsilon Theta. I can't help but wonder what the relationship was between Tyrell's research and the Romulans. Given her deception, I don't think her studies were as innocent and benign as I was led to believe. Still, involved or not, the Romulans have uncharacteristically spread into the unaligned systems throughout this sector. My instincts say they're up to something sinister. Our sensors have detected a Romulan starbase on the far side of the system. It appears to be the staging area for the attacks they've been mounting against us. If we could destroy it, our job here would become a lot easier. Well done. The medical ships have distributed the antitoxin to all infected planets in the system. Our efforts here today have made a real difference in these people's lives, averting a crisis in the process. Starfleet will want a full report on this operation as soon as possible. Let's head home. The First Minister of Epsilon Theta Prime has provided us with a holographic image of an alien ship that was observed surveying the planets in that region. Its design indicates it is a vessel used by the Ankari, an isolationist people whose homeworld of Ankaria is located just 2 light-years from Romulan space. Fearing the worst, I have been ordered to investigate. The Ankari might be just a tool for the Romulans, or, given their recent behavior, they might have a foothold in our neck of the woods. Either prospect gives me pause, but we need to find an answer to this disease, and fast. Sensors indicate Ankaria has been poisoned by the same disease that infected the other planets, only it's much further along in the ecosystem. Everything is dead. Nothing has survived, not even plant or animal life. Wait, sensors are picking up a transport of some kind. It seems intent on leaving this place in a hurry. This is Captain Archer of the Starfleet ship Enterprise. Shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded.
They are not responding, Captain.
Concentrated scan. I want to know what's on that ship. Looks like that ship was a drone. No one was on board. Sensors are telling us they were carrying a large concentration of the toxin used to poison Epsilon Theta. But where is she headed? Parallel course. Don't let the drone out of center range. We're registering a large amount of the toxin in liquid form. This must be some kind of processing facility. They're synthesizing the toxin here, then taking it into Starfleet sectors. I don't believe it. We just had that thing on our sensors. The energy requirements to cloak something of that size must be astronomical. That's definitely a Romulan cargo ship, though. She's taking evasive action. With the station cloaked, we won't be able to target the facility's key systems to destroy it. We've got to find the source of the toxin. Search pattern Omega. It must be located at one of the planets in the system. Sensors have detected trace amounts of the toxin. That Romulan vessel must have harvested it from one of the nearby planets. We can't let it escape. If it reaches the cloaked station, we'll lose it. The Romulans must be using this orbital facility to harvest biogenic material from the planet's surface. We'll have to put a stop to it. Target that facility. Excellent. Without their harvesting station, the Romulans will be unable to procure any more biogenic material from this planet. However, we have to be sure there are no more orbital stations like this one in the system. Continue search pattern and be alert. They've launched 2 more transport vessels. Sensors say they're each loaded with toxin. The Romulans are attempting to take it out of the system. Scans indicate they are also stocked with plasma torpedoes. If we can detonate them, it might be enough to destabilize the cloaking shield on the base. It worked. The plasma torpedo's displacement has disrupted their cloaking fields. The second Romulan ship carrying the toxin has gone to warp. They could be taking that stuff anywhere, but our first priority is to destroy this facility. Then we'll pursue. That seems to have broken their back. Good work. There's one transport left. We have to intercept it before the Romulans can accomplish whatever they are planning to do with it.
Jonathan, we have a serious problem. Whatever hornet's nest you stirred up out there has really set things off. The Romulans have begun a big push into strategic sectors. We think they're headed for Earth.
Earth? The toxin. They want to use it on Earth. Reg, we were able to find their production facilities for that poison and shut it down, but one of their ships got away, carrying a large quantity of this stuff. We have to find that ship and destroy it.
They'll be entering the Tyburn sector soon, but we've managed to intercept some elements of their fleet in Orsini. I'm not sure how long we can hold them there.
How many ships?
Their cloaking technology makes it difficult to ascertain their strength. But our latest ship count is at least 30 vessels. We can't make sense of it. No matter how many we seem to destroy, more ships decloak to take their place. Jonathan, if they aren't stopped in Tyburn, there's nothing left between their ships and our solar system. All the elements of the Starfleet are here.
We've already changed course. Hold tight, Reg. We'll be there soon.
Enterprise, we're taking a severe beating here. I have a plan, but we'll need to buy some time. Can you get them off our backs?
I'll buy you as much as I can, but eventually they're going to overrun the system. Their numbers are just too great.
Trust me, Jonathan. I'll owe you one.
This will make 3 by my count. Archer to fleet. Our priority is to reinforce the Starfleet ships already fighting in the system. Enterprise out.
And that's got it. We're ready, Jonathan.
It had better be good. We're facing steep odds here.
The orbital facility here was designed to aid Vulcan mining camps on this planet by using a cutting beam to penetrate the surface and expose dilithium deposits. We've powered it back up and realigned its orbit to fire the beam into space. It should allow us to defend ourselves against the Romulan vanguard.
And the rest of the Romulan fleet?
This is the part of the plan that's truly inspired. If you scan the area, you'll see 4 sensor platforms the Vulcans deployed here years ago. We've managed to bring them online remotely and reprogram their command functions. They're powered by an early form of nuclear fusion. But if we can detonate them in proximity to the Romulan ships, they'll create an electromagnetic pulse that should disable their systems.
A nuclear blast? It's so simple it might actually work. I doubt their shields were designed to keep out the full electromagnetic range.
That's what we're thinking. We're configuring them now to respond to a coded hailing frequency, which will trigger detonation.
Understood. Now we'll just have to lure them in.
Shouldn't be too hard. When they see you, they'll try to destroy you. Guaranteed. Good luck.
Thanks. We'll need it. Enterprise out. It worked. We've disabled some Romulan vessels at this sensor platform. 3 Romulan ships have decloaked near the blast. The EMP must have knocked out their cloak, but their shields are still intact. Their energy signature is through the roof. The Romulans must have distributed the remaining toxin among these 3 ships. Are you reading this?
We see them, Jonathan. The science officer on the station believes that the 3 ships carrying the toxin are using shield generators designed for deployment on an outpost.
But that's not possible. The power requirements would be...
I know, but the bottom line is nothing you have out there will penetrate those shields.
What options do we have?
We think the cutting beam on the station may be enough to break through their shields.
Then do it, Reggie.
Unfortunately, the beam leaches all primary energy stores. After each discharge, it takes some time to get the capacitors up to full power again for another shot. You'll have to keep those ships within the limited range of the facility in order for this to work. To do that, you're going to have to engage them and hit them in their weak area, their engines.
Moderate damage to their engines. That's 1 ship dead in space. It won't take them long to repair, but we've stopped them for the moment. Captain's personal log supplemental. The Tyburn system has been contaminated with the bioagent. However, we managed to prevent the Romulans from using their weapon on Earth and stop their advance deeper into our space. We'll have to move quickly to synthesize a counteragent from the sample we collected, but at least we can do something to help the people in this system. I don't know exactly how or why the Romulans would try such a desperate move, but I have a feeling that Commander Tyrell is involved in this incident. And for my part, I want the Vulcans to answer some questions about what this Tyrell was really doing out here, and why they wanted her back so badly. I doubt Starfleet has heard the last of her, and I want us to be prepared for our next encounter.
7106.7. Our conflict with the Klingons has escalated. Their new cloaking technology has given them a tactical edge, making them bolder with every victory. The decision to make use of the modified cloak I procured from the Romulans 2 years ago has proven disappointing. Efforts to deploy the technology nearly resulted in the loss of the USS Phoenix. Our troubles don't end there. Starfleet intelligence has located a new Klingon weapons platform in the Cathra system. Unfortunately, the whole of the Klingon fleet would detect and intercept us before we could reach it and take it out. Forced to improvise, I've been given command of a small task force to attempt capture of a Klingon prototype vessel we believe is being built here in the Maker system. Starfleet intelligence believes it's equipped with a more advanced cloak that even the Klingons can't penetrate. If we can secure this craft, we may still be able to use it to find out exactly what the Klingons are up to.
Enterprise, this is Outpost Orpheus. We've been monitoring enemy comm traffic in the region. We can confirm what you're looking for is definitely here.
Excellent, Orpheus. Are you prepared to transmit the jamming signal?
We're ready to throw a net over their communications on your order. Getting in won't be difficult, sir. But getting out with one of their ships will.
It's time to seize the initiative. I hope they'll be so taken off guard that we can move in and take what we need. Anything else I should be aware of?
We've detected some Klingon outposts orbiting its planets. If you stay clear, you should be well out of their range.
Perhaps we could turn them to our advantage. If I can get a landing party on board, we might be able to create a defensive screen as we exit the system.
Good luck, Enterprise. And good hunting.
That's it. The prototype is clearing the space dock. We'll have to disable its engines to tow it back to Orpheus. Our mission is a success. We've done it. We've arrived at the outskirts of the system where the Cataract Research Station is located. Not sure what to expect after encountering Tyrell's alterations to our outer defense post. My instincts tell me to be cautious. Our most recent intelligence places Tyrell at the research station itself. Finally, to have her within our reach. With all the havoc she has wrought upon the Federation, one can only wonder what happened to her Vulcan senses. Starfleet Command is most insistent that Dr. Cataract and his research be saved. If I didn't know better, I'd almost say they place his well-being above that of his fellow researchers. In any case, I fully intend to take back what she has stolen. Whatever it takes to bring her destructive tendencies to an end, I'm prepared to do.
Admiral Kirk, this is Captain Somerset. We're approaching the target area. Scans confirm the presence of the Saleya near the station. My battle group is moving to intercept.
We're right behind you, Somerset. Hold on.
Admiral, something is wrong. Our shields are losing power fast. We've lost partial coverage. Correction! We've lost all shield power. We're hit. Secondary hull rupture. Decompression on multiple decks. We're losing her. It's too late.
Somerset, come in. Sensor scan now. I want to know what the hell happened. Kirk to fleet. Our sensors are detecting several objects out there which seem to be emitting some kind of dampening field. As Captain Somerset's telemetry indicates, they appear to have a profound effect on our ship's systems. They drain energy from local space and translate that into power for the Cataract defense grid. Our tactical analysis indicates the dampeners are constructed of solid neutronium. Phasers and photons will have little effect against them. My science officer has found the subspace carrier wave amplitude these devices are using to transfer power back to the defense grid. We're going to attempt to send a feedback pulse on that carrier wave in an effort to overload the dampener. If we actively scan the device, we can match the carrier wave. If we're going to even get close to that station, we'll have to disable these dampeners. Kirk. We've done it. All the dampeners have been overloaded, and the subspace link to the defense grid has been severed. The station's defensive network has been neutralized. Set course for the Cataract Research Station, but stay tight and close. What in the name of...
Ah, the legendary Admiral James Kirk. History seems to note you a special chapter. It would be a pity to end it so prematurely. Withdraw your forces, and you may leave unharmed.
What about the countless men and women who have died up to this point, trying to stop you from spreading your chaos over the whole of the quadrant?
Ending of life is regrettable, but sometimes necessary on the road to perfection. I am on a higher path, one that will eventually bring us all into a state of peace and logic.
I've heard this all before, Tyrell. The road to hell, as they say, is paved with good intentions. But you're just a Vulcan whose delusions afford you the luxury of rationalizing murder. And I intend to stop you, right here, right now. Stand down, or we will destroy you.
I believe you are mistaken. Omega now belongs to me, and you will witness the nature of its power. Goodbye, Admiral. I am most curious to see how your death will affect events yet to come.
She's escaped. Enterprise to fleet. Weapons free. Concentrate your fire on that large vessel. Sensors are detecting smaller spheres linked to the larger one. They appear to have no offensive capabilities, but are working to augment the mothership's systems. Sensors show a resonance cascade in that ship's power core. That energy reading is massive. What in blazes could they have been using to power that thing? All ships, get out of here. Maximum warp. That ship is going critical. Admiral's personal log supplemental. I failed. It was my charge to apprehend this woman who has been a destructive blight upon the Federation for the last 100 years. Tyrell has been with us since the founding of the Federation, and there's no telling how much longer she'll be out here. Her purpose unknown, and her power quite formidable. I fear for what she could do given time. I've submitted my official report to Starfleet concerning the Cataract incident. After learning of his Omega particle research, I suggested that the details be sealed, and steps taken to assure this never happens again. Aside from the destructive power of a single molecule of Omega, it has destroyed subspace through a 3 light-year radius around the Lantaru sector. With such potentially destructive power at Tyrell's fingertips, I feel extremely uneasy. Starfleet has assigned a commission to develop an Omega directive concerning this eyes-only matter. Sometimes the arrogance of man is what gets us into so much trouble. Hopefully, the next generation will be better.
Captain's log, stardate 10372.6. While on a survey mission to Galorndon Core, we've received word from a Federation listening post along the neutral zone that a disturbance has been detected involving several Romulan ships and an older Vulcan vessel.
The Romulans appear to be engaged in battle, Captain.
Full sensor scan. I want to know what's happening over there.
My lord, what kind of a mess are the Romulans creating now? That planet has just been liquefied to molten rock. Its core is destabilizing. Brace for the shockwaves. Raise shield.
Vigo, raise the shields.
Done. But we've been hit badly. Major damage to the outer hull.
The captain. Captain Ruhalter is down. Medical team to the bridge. Emergency.
What are we going to do, Jean-Luc?
I'm taking command. Bring us about. Full impulse, get us some distance. Open a channel to that ship.
Channel open.
Attention, unidentified vessel. I am Captain Picard of the Federation ship Stargazer. You are entering Federation territory. Return at once to Romulan space.
No response, Jean-Luc. They've altered course. They're bypassing our position and heading deeper into Federation space.
Good. We're in no real condition to fight anyway. We need to reach Starbase 61. Tax the engines as hard as you have to, but we must get there quickly.
Will do, Captain.
Do we still have sensors, Vigo?
Barely. The sensor pallets are still there, but there's hardly any power left. It's the planet. The core has completely collapsed.
What about stellar debris? Give me a bearing.
Computing that now. A large portion of the stellar debris will pass through the Phidian star system.
Best possible speed to Starbase 61. Open a channel to them. We're going to need more ships. Acting Captain's log. Supplemental. Captain Ruhalter is dead. After reaching Starbase 61, we discovered only 3 other Federation starships are present in the system. We have very few resources to aid us in this catastrophe, but we'll have to make whatever we do have count twice over. We cannot allow any of those massive fragments to strike the planets in this system. If they do, millions of lives could be lost and the planets rendered uninhabitable for decades.
Stargazer, this is Starbase 61. We've been monitoring the situation. The debris entering the system is steadily increasing, but I believe we can be of some assistance. We've been able to modify our defensive platforms, increasing their range and power. You can use your tractor beams to tow them to the locations I've indicated. I believe they could provide significant support for destroying the incoming debris.
Stargazer to all ships. We've detected a massive piece of stellar matter on a collision course with Phidian 3. Its sheer mass and velocity make it unlikely we'll be able to destroy it using our phasers or torpedoes. But we may be able to use the mass of the other fragments to inflict more damage by impacting some of the smaller debris into the larger ones. Transfer auxiliary power to your tractor beam systems. We'll need all the power we can get. Our efforts have paid off today. All of the stellar fragments have been destroyed. We've managed to avert a disaster, and you all have done splendid work here. Well done. Captain's log, Stardate 10374.8. This is my first entry as the captain of a starship, though I wish my command bars hadn't come with such a high cost. With the loss of Captain Ruhalter and several of my crewmates, I grieve for us all. However, they died holding up the highest traditions of Starfleet, proudly doing their best to rise to a challenge and overcome great odds. Our friends and comrades will be missed. I will endeavor to be a captain worthy of such a fine crew and such a fine ship. I do regret that Starfleet has been unable to determine the whereabouts of the vessel which brought the Romulans to our doorstep. But perhaps, in time, we'll be able to piece together what really happened here today in an effort to give it meaning.
Acting Captain's Log, Stardate 45252.6. After departing Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards for a test flight of the newly completed USS Defiant, we have arrived in the Atari system to find some disturbing evidence of a Romulan incursion into Federation space. Starfleet Command has been notified of our discovery, and nearby starships are en route to our position. The Atarian Nebula was chosen as a proving ground for the Defiant's trial run because of its isolation from prying eyes. Yet, here I stare at the wreckage of a Romulan warbird well within our borders. Starfleet has been concerned by the active reemergence of the Romulan Star Empire in recent months. Their actions seem to be getting bolder with each new encounter, such as this most recent attempt to conquer Vulcan. As a matter of even greater concern, my chief engineer has informed me that upon entering Itari, our warp drive has become mysteriously inoperative. Until other Federation starships arrive, it is our duty to scout the area surrounding the nebula to determine what, if any, Romulan presence still lingers. Though this was supposed to be the Defiant's first trial run in a simulated exercise, I can't wait to see what her capabilities truly are. That's truly a spectacle I thought I'd never see, at least not this close. Let's get a scan of this.
Your vessel is not known to us. State your intentions here.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Benjamin Sisko, and I was just about to ask you that very question. Give me a reason why you have breached the neutral zone and violated the terms of our treaty.
I am Commander Valerius of the Tal Shiar. We do as we will, with or without your approval. Our intelligence has placed a very dangerous fugitive in this sector, and we lay in wait for her.
Am I to assume the disruption field inhibiting our warp drive is your doing?
As I said, we are waiting for our prey.
So you're hoping to catch your quarry. Then what?
Then we intend to destroy her for the Romulan lives she has extinguished. Our justice and laws demand no less.
Our laws mandate that anyone in our space is to be judged by our standard. If you wish to extradite a prisoner, you must go through the proper channels. You cannot simply...
Do you take us for fools, Sisko? These new Vulcan weapons will not stop us. Your puppets cannot withstand the might of the Romulan Star Empire.
Vulcan weapons? I have no idea what you're referring to, Commander. But the Federation does not attack its neighbors.
You lie. I've seen firsthand what your allies did to one of our worlds. Yet one of your ships was unharmed by the Vulcan assassin you sent into our space. She plagued us for years, and now we will know vengeance.
I'm not sure what you're basing your intelligence on, Valerius. But from where I'm sitting, you're the one who is in direct violation of our peace agreement.
You dare feign ignorance?
We both know I can't just leave you to your own devices here. You have violated our space.
Enough. This conversation has become tiresome, and you are more useful dead than interfering with my plans.
Get us into that nebula fast, Ensign. Full impulse power.
Captain's log, stardate 45252.8. Starfleet has ordered the Enterprise and 3 other Federation starships to the Itarian Nebula in response to a disturbing report from one of our vessels undertaking a routine training flight in the area. With little intelligence to go on and no sign of the Defiant, we have begun an intensive scan of the surrounding area to discover what may have happened to her. My chief engineer says all our systems are functioning properly. However, we seem to be unable to create a stable warp field. Sensors indicate this system is littered with objects that are giving off inverse graviton bursts. They seem to be having a destabilizing effect on our warp fields. We're also detecting something. A faint signal coming from within the nebula. It seems to be a Federation transponder. We should move to investigate. I think it's time to go, Captain Sisko. Let's get you out of here.
Acting Captain's log, supplemental. Our encounter with the Romulan warships has truly tested the Defiant's fledgling capabilities. While she held up under fire, I can tell her systems still need a great deal of work. After informing Starfleet of the specifics of the engagement, the involvement of a Vulcan ship in combat with the Romulans seems to have caught their eye. The Romulan commander indicated that he had been harassed by some kind of Vulcan assassin. Those two terms don't seem very likely to be used in the same sentence, but I did witness an old Vulcan ship as we fled the nebula. I intend to find out what link these separate events have in common. I know it won't be easy, but something tells me that whatever I discover, it won't be to my liking.
Captain's personal log, stardate 57327.8. The wheel is come full circle. There has been a great adjustment on the Enterprise with the loss of Commander Data, and with Will Riker's and Deanna's new postings. Amid so many new personnel, I feel, at times, alone. I fear the legacy of this vessel is coming to an end, though I know she will carry on long after I am gone. For my part, I don't want this to be the last page of my journey aboard this ship. My ship. My latest assignment has me confronting a problem the Federation has dealt with since its founding. One I may very well have set in motion. Is this the promised end?
I see the Federation's official delegation has arrived. Now we may begin the process of a civilized and orderly solution to all our problems.
I am Admiral Janeway, representing the interests of Starfleet in this matter, Tyrell of Vulcan.
And I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Locutus. Yes, I know who you are.
Forgive me, madam, but that is not my name.
Your current designation is irrelevant. We know you as Locutus, though the collective may have changed a bit since you were last a part of us.
I see no change in the collective. An armada of Borg vessels looms above a Federation planet, which usually means ill intent.
Just so. These feeble minds are no match for my mental disciplines. We are so much more than the Borg of old.
You sound the same as the old queen to me.
While you are no doubt testing my resolve, Catherine, may I call you Catherine? We are Vulcan, not Borg.
We? Don't you mean I? Look what has become of you. The Borg have changed you, altered you.
Your cursory examination of the situation is misguided, Locutus. I have molded the Borg into a tool of total logic. Surely it is better to be part of a union working for a common goal. That is the heart of the Vulcan philosophy. Knowledge and understanding in all things.
Sounds like a dictatorship to me. Why don't you skip to the part where you tell us why you're here and what it is you really want?
Have I not made my intentions plain enough? I wish to put an end to all that is illogical in the Alpha Quadrant.
Is it not illogical to force these changes, as you define them, upon others?
To expect logic to triumph through pacifism is illogical, Locutus. How many times must you see it through all of your histories, even that of my people, before we found a more responsible way of existing?
Responsible? Is that how you would define the deaths of the thousands you have sacrificed in pursuit of your personal paradise?
Regrettable incidents, but necessary for the ultimate good.
Enough of this, Tyrell, if that's still who you are beneath all that Borg technology. Withdraw your forces from Federation space immediately.
You refuse to understand that the logical choice is to surrender.
Tyrell, if you truly control the collective, then let it be sundered. Free the millions of souls who have been taken by the Borg. You are still Vulcan. Don't let them take that from you as well.
We cannot hide what we are. In this, though we cannot be said to be flattering honest men, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter us. Goodbye, Locutus. We will miss you.
I take it we can expect the worst?
There is no true Vulcan left within her. She won't stop until every planet has become the paradise she desires.
Then we'll go with your plan, Jean-Luc. Take command of the fleet. I'll be back with some friends. Janeway out.
To all ships, the Borg have begun their assault in the Aurelius region. I have ordered that all Federation civilians in this system be evacuated to Starbase 127. To that end, we will provide protection to the transports carrying those people to safety. But we won't be able to hold the line indefinitely. Harassing the cubes may provide enough of a distraction to allow more transports to be launched, but ultimately, this system will be overrun. Every second counts. Godspeed, and keep your wits about you. Mission accomplished. The majority of the people on those planets have been rescued and are transferring to warp-capable ships at the Starbase. We'll cover their retreat.
You know us too well, Locutus. Perhaps you are more formidable than I had previously thought. If you want my attention, you shall have it.
Captain's personal log supplemental. Our ruse has drawn out Tyrell and the task force she commands. The Klingon and Romulan fleets have successfully lured the other elements of her Borg forces to this more defensible position above Bajor. The Bajorans have graciously offered the services of Deep Space Nine, recognizing the tactical importance of this region. Our fleets, however, are scattered across this system, engaging the enemy. If we are to hold them here and possibly turn this engagement into an advantage, we must bring the fleets together. Our first order of business must be to secure Deep Space Nine and use its might to keep the Borg off balance. If it falls, so do all our chances of equalizing the odds. As for Tyrell, time shall unfold what plated cunning hides.
Glory to you, Captain Picard. Fire in any direction, and you shall hit an enemy. A test of our warriors' mettle. We shall bathe in blood today, either as victors, or as the righteous dead on the way to Stovokor.
Preferably the former, General Menvek. Thanks to your swift action, Deep Space Nine has been secured. You have earned great honor for your house, but we still have to marshal the other forces in the system.
Never have I fought such a soulless enemy as these, Borg. But rest assured, we shall be victorious, and souls or no, we shall send them all to Greythor. Lead on, Captain. We shall follow you into the belly of the beast.
Our long-range sensors have detected 3 battlefronts. 2 Romulan fleets are fighting Borg vessels on opposite sides of the system, while the remaining Klingon forces are also engaged in a fleet action at the 3rd location.
Whatever you decide, Captain, we will be at...
Romulan fleet, this is the Federation starship Enterprise. What is your status?
Welcome, Enterprise. I am Commander Praetus of the Romulan warbird Sirak. Though we were certainly capable of vanquishing this foe, the defeat was much swifter with your assistance. My ship has taken only moderate damage. Others weren't so fortunate, but I believe we still have enough combat-effective ships to mount an offensive against the remaining Borg vessels.
Excellent. We must move immediately to assist the other fleets throughout the system.
Agreed. I placed my attack group under your flag. Lead on, Enterprise.
Romulan fleet, we have come to aid you.
I am Sub-Commander Varel. My flight of warbirds has been battling these wretched Borg with minimal success. But it seems our fortunes have changed for the better since your arrival. I salute your superior sense of timing.
And I hail your bravery, Sub-Commander. Holding the Borg ships here has given us a chance to clear the area around the station. It took a great deal of courage to hold your ground.
A necessary measure, calculated in the hopes that we would achieve a successful campaign here against these vermin.
We still have work to do. Are you prepared to move out?
Indeed, Captain. Lead the way. My warbirds will take up formation in the fleet. Varel out.
Break off my warriors! They fight as though the spirit of Kalis was upon them.
Contact your ships, General Menvek. Let them know we are here to help them fight our common enemy.
Warriors of the Empire, we come to do you honor in the face of the aggressor. We will crush our enemies underfoot.
We are picking up subspace distortions. Conduits are forming.
Locutus, I see you have managed to bring your chaotic governments to bear upon me. Well played. Though I'm sure you know this alliance will not save you. I give you one last chance to surrender.
Sorry, that word is not in Starfleet's vocabulary. If this is to be our end, then we will die with our individuality intact.
I see. You leave me no choice. My only regret is that what is left of Sarek within you will also be destroyed. However, I promise if I can preserve you within the collective mind, I will do so.
More prey for the hunt. Excellent. My warrior's thirst was not quenched in our last engagement.
Our ships stand ready to engage the enemy.
Warbirds at the ready, Picard. We will form up on you.
Enterprise to the fleet. Move forward and target at will.
For glory and honor, we fly to war! Look at them, Picard! Running from the sight of our advance! They are truly the soulless cowards we thought.
This battle isn't over yet, General. Tyrell's been defeated here, but there is still another battle in the offing. Picard to fleet. Pursuit course. Engage at maximum warp. Captain's log supplemental. With the help of our former allies, we were able to force Tyrell's collective into retreat from Deep Space Nine. While the Klingons believe this is a sign of victory, I am a bit more cautious. Without the support of DS9, we lose the advantage of choosing the time and place of our engagement. However, the alternative of letting Tyrell escape so she can replenish her drones and ships would be foolhardy. We have no choice but to pursue her to whatever ground she has chosen for this final confrontation. I can see why she's chosen this sector to make her stand. Sensors indicate that area has high concentration of polaric ion energy.
Polaric ion energy? But it's so unpredictable. It's unstable enough to destroy her and everything else within 100,000 kilometers.
Tyrell isn't going to make this easy. It will be a hunt to the last. And unstable or not, she seems to have harnessed the power of this nebula effectively.
Picard, my ships are registering a large energy pocket forming around Tyrell's vessel. Looks to be a shield of some kind. This Vulcan is cunning.
I've never seen that kind of shield configuration before. There are similarities between regenerative shielding we've encountered in the past, but this is much more complex.
She must be using the nebula's unique properties to bolster her shield matrix. That would give her a vast source of power to defend herself. In any case, it's more than any of our weapons can penetrate. She's not going anywhere. The safest place in the galaxy for her right now is in that string.
I agree. There is no sense in leaving the only safe haven in the sector.
Picard, my sensors are picking up some kind of anomaly. What is this Takek doing?
I'm not sure. It seems like some kind of subspace rift.
Sensors indicate a tachyon pulse emanating from the phenomena.
It's a transwarp conduit. She's trying to bring in reinforcements.
Admiral, is there any way to close this conduit?
Yes, but this one doesn't read the same as the ones I've encountered in the past. The energy signature is much greater than normal. I think Tyrell is sustaining it from the power she's drawing from the string. It's unlikely our torpedoes will be able to collapse it. At least not completely. If we want to shut that conduit down, we're going to have to shut her down.
My chief engineer is working on the problem, Admiral. But our first concern must be dealing with these new arrivals. Some of the ships coming through the conduit aren't registering on our sensors as active. Their power matrix readings are highly unstable. This conduit must be having some undesirable side effects on those vessels. I'd stay clear of them, as they're likely to self-destruct.
Agreed, Jean-Luc. I've received communications over subspace that more help is on the way. Let's take them down a peg before our friends show up.
Focus on the active Borg vessels and steer clear of the unstable ones.
We have the equipment you requested.
Excellent, Scott. We'll make the necessary modifications via remote link.
Confirmed, Enterprise. Captain, we've also been modified to serve as a deep space repair and rearm vessel. You need only to get close and hail us to initiate the process. We'll remain here and guard the sensor pods and provide any support to ships that require it.
Understood. Picard out. We're modifying these sensor pods the Scott brought to emit a magneton pulse.
Isn't that something the Dominion used to use?
Yes, but we've been experimenting with ways to adapt the magneton field to block certain types of subspace ruptures at their point of formation. An anti-subspace weapon, if you will. We thought it might come in handy someday. That day appears to have arrived. We'll have to get each one to a specific location on the two opposite ends of the string. Once they're in place, we can activate the pulse.
Very well. Let's get these sensor pods where they need to go. Prepare tractor beams. Never a dull moment with you, Captain. You sure know how to show a lady a good time.
You said it yourself, Admiral. I get all the easy assignments.
Losing the necessary power to maintain the conduit and our shields. All Borg units form a perimeter around my vessel.
I can smell the scent of victory at hand. Nowhere left to run. And surrounded.
An end could be close. Having chosen this location to hide, the Vulcan neglected to factor in that the string has a destabilizing effect on warp fields. She will not be able to escape.
Events have certainly changed in our favor. We haven't beaten her yet. Our sensors are reading increased activity within the dormant Borg vessels. She's bringing them out of regeneration. Prepare to engage the remaining Borg ships. Tyrell cannot be allowed to escape. Captain's log, stardate 57332.5. Victory. Though we have thwarted Tyrell's master plan, a victory begs the question, where do we go from here? The Borg have once again left us picking up the pieces, honoring our dead, and hoping for the future. My responsibility here is inescapable. The ripples in the water are a consequence of my actions. However, I have come to live with an understanding that all things have a bane, and this one, the Borg, haunt me the most. I could hear Tyrell in her final moments calling out to me. Whether it was the Vulcan or Borg in my mind, I wonder which we destroyed and which one was set free.